Well, for those that were worried about us, we're still alive.
Still alive.
It's week
Barely.
12. If you're wondering why we missed week 11, because we had a heck of a time.
And a boys trip.
It was awesome.
To be honest, I was looking back at some of my picks I was going to make. Glad they didn't reach air.
No,
Glad they didn't go out. It would
I
have been.
actually, you know what's crazy is I actually probably netted like 5 units over the weekend. I had a good
Uh,
weekend and I
I
didn't.
was okay. I had West Virginia big, but I also had Georgia big. So
I had BYU to the moon and we got a little help. We got a
yeah,
little help,
little help, little help,
but we'll
little
take
help. But it
it.
was a. I went through. I went through it. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw the piece of paper away. I'm glad we didn't put it on. I'm glad we didn't put it out there. So I'm
We had
happy.
listen, guys, we had a bye week.
Everyone else gets a bye week. Why not us?
Yeah, and
Why not
actually,
us?
all college teams now get two.
We're
So
only taking
we're
one.
only taking one.
You
So
know
let's
what?
think about it like that.
No ads, one bye week, free programming. What else
That
you
ain't
going?
that bad.
It's not
That
that
ain't that
bad.
bad. It's
Listen,
weird to see your house because I can
yeah,
see the background of your house because I slept down there for two
you did. You
nights.
slept like right behind, right near the Peloton. Yeah,
Yeah, we got
yeah.
Diddy's baby oil out. We got what is it? The air mattress.
It was a true freak week. It was a true
Freak,
big freaky boy Saturday,
freak
big freaky
off,
boy Friday, big freak off.
Frankie Freak.
Uh, I'm playing hurt. I don't know what happened. I feels like I have like 6 pounds of just stuff in my head right now. So it's
Dang,
okay.
dude.
We're gonna get through it.
I'm happy that if there's a week to be sick, at least it's not during men's retreat.
It's okay. Listen, I left it all in the field.
You
I
did.
exposed
You
myself to
did.
all the
You
elements,
did.
all the illnesses.
When you had that adult fruit chew, I
Yes.
thought you were dead. I thought you were a dead man.
A lot of people counted me out, and that was their fault.
They did, myself included.
A lot of
It
people said
hurt.
he's not going to recover, and you know what? I didn't recover at a pace that I wanted,
Yeah,
but I recovered. I made it back.
you did. We'll recap men's retreat here in a second. I do want to
Yeah,
get to a point of men's retreat. Um, as we know, I'm a big soccer guy. I have season
huge
tickets to
soccer guy.
NYCFC. They won in Cincinnati over the
Yeah,
weekend while I was there. And while I was there, I went to the casino. Wish you would have made it there. I went to the casino at the end of the night, the last event. All right. As we're there, there's a handful of New York City soccer club supporters.
yep.
And I run up to them. I have a West Virginia shirt on, but underneath I have a New York shirt. I run up to them and I'm like, hey, let's go, guys. Great job. Yeah. And they had no idea what I was talking about. They were on a different planet. I lift up my shirt to show them my NYC shirt underneath. They thought I was up in the burner on them. They were like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Thought you
like
were
they
running up on him.
yeah, they thought I was running up on them. And the reason I know this is because there's a guy with a pretty decent sized podcast for New York City, and he was in that crew. And then I went over to the crew and was like, "Hey, I listen to your show every week." And then tensions were calmed, and he actually gave me a really nice shout out on his podcast. So if you listen, if you're curious, listen to NYCFC Forever podcast. And at the 8 minute mark, they talk about the random West Virginia NYC fan that ran up on him at the casino.
They thought you were airing the place out.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
Uh,
I went
in,
up
in
at
my
the casino, by
defense,
the way, on blackjack. Went up.
in my defense for the casino, so I went back to the house.
Yeah.
As soon as I got back to the house, I got a text from another one of our friends saying everyone was heading to my house. So I was like, all right.
Who told you
So
that?
Drizzy, I got.
Everyone went to his house.
I'm just telling you, got a text that I got back to the house at 9:57. At like 10:02, I got a text. Hey, everyone's coming to your place. So I stayed up for like 45 minutes. I was like, I'll wait for everybody. Nope, left the door open. Sorry. I don't know what's happening. I figured everyone left the casino. So
You know
some water,
what? You know what Sammy Sosa said while we were at the
something
casino?
about lightening the skin. I don't know.
No.
Something about being behind McGuire. No, not those two.
Sammy Sosa said, he goes, being at the casino makes me sad. I said, why?
Can't be me.
He said, because it's always the last stop on men's retreat. And that
True.
made me sad.
That's true.
He's got a heart of
There
gold.
is something bittersweet about it, but I also listen at like 6 o'clock after dinner. I was trying to push the casino early. I was trying to
I
push the
wanted to
casino
go
early.
early. I wanted to go early.
I was
But we
shot
went to
down, man.
Pins, and Pins was not a good vibe. Pins was a
It was
good
fun.
vibe.
It was good. We some people got removed. Some people probably should have been, but it's okay. We made it through.
The
Some
people
people,
that got removed, Probably it pretty should have been flip flop. The guys
They,
that
they probably listen. They had the right.
we
It's
had
a
a
hard
guy.
thing
We
to
had a
do.
guy. Listen, we had a guy get ejected from the ball game. All
He
right,
did. He got thrown out. He's asked to leave.
and and then he and then he came back and he tried to get his money's worth with the umpire, and they were not
What's great
having
is
it.
whenever you're trying to sneak back in the bar, it's best not to do like the Rob Van Dam and announce yourself like
He
when you're near the
did.
threshold.
He snuck back
He's
into the bar and
pointing.
he was like,
He's pointing to himself. He's it's so that's maybe not best to advertise yourself when you get thrown out of the club, but you know what?
Sammy
That's why we
Sosa
love him.
brought him in. Sammy Sosa brought him in and was like, yeah. And then immediately hand on shoulder meme.
He
Buddy,
had
you're coming with us.
some of the wildest. I can't believe he didn't throw out of the UC game. Some of the wildest things I've ever heard at a college game, and that's saying something. Lifelong Mountaineer fan. So he was saying some wild stuff
I don't want to
in front
listen.
of many children.
I'll just say this. Thank you for getting the tickets. Not you, but
I
Drizzy.
mean, yeah.
Thank you for getting the tickets. It's kind of Bush League. My seats were 3 rows back from the rest of the team. I digress.
We could have made some trades. We could have made some trades.
I had a lot of fun.
I snuck into club seats. It was
I
great.
know this.
Yeah, that was great.
It was
Free
nice
food,
though. The
free seats.
team, the football team after the victory,
Yeah, it was great.
we all sang Country Roads. The football team came over to the supporters section and I shook everyone's hand like a gentleman. And I said, great job, great effort out there. And I got to tell you this right now. Garrett Green did not look happy.
He wasn't happy.
No.
He was. He's
Neither
out
did
there.
CJ
He's out there.
Donaldson. CJ Donaldson also not happy.
Gigi's probably out there just posting some OAN memes, trying to get some more traffic with 47. So that's okay.
That was Nico, my boy.
That was Nico. You're right. My mistake. We
With
would
45
cut that,
and
but we're a
47.
podcast. We would cut that, but we're a podcast of honor, so we're going to leave it in. It's a
It's true.
mistake.
Men of
Me.
honor.
That's me.
So let's recap men's retreat.
Hold on,
then,
real quick before we recap the retreat. I'm going to go back 2 weeks. We're going to the time machine. I'm not going to go too deep depth. Last 2 weeks ago, 3 and 4 for me, down 2 units. I am sitting at 5 units. The Dimes man, they're looking like a pins bowling score right here. 1, 4, and 1, down 3 units to 4.5. Still at 9.5 units. Not great, not bad. We're almost at double digits. I think we get there this week. That's okay. Buried the football 2 weeks ago, so keep moving. Move forward. Just wanted to make sure for those keeping score at home.
My pick'em league, I had a chance to be top scorer of the league. I forgot to put a lineup in because I was having so much fun on Saturday.
That's tough. I lost in my big money fantasy football league because my one fucking friend who's listening to the pod forgot to put anybody in for Amari Cooper, and we lost by like 1 point. So thanks, Big Putts. You had one job.
Big Putts? No.
We co-manage a team, and I'm like,
first off, why are you in bed with that guy?
Listen, we co-manage a team. We keep each other.
Pal, Amari Cooper, pal.
I'm fucking starting him, pal. Like he's gonna go for $110. And I'm looking and I'm like, dude, we didn't start anybody. And he's like, fuck, drop the ball. And we lost by like 1 point. What even sucks is we had Jalen Waddle, which needed 8 points. He had like 60 yards on the opening drive and didn't have another catch rest in the game.
Yep.
Maybe he had one catch for like 3 yards. So
I'm cold as ice as far as gambling goes. I think I lost $250 last night. I got to take a day off. And come back Saturday.
For those that watch NBA, I had a bet. A 4-leg parlay, and the last leg was not to go. Or excuse me, no, I didn't have that. That was a different one. I had the Miami Heat versus the Pistons the other night.
Oh no!
Overtime. Did you see how it ended?
Yeah. Spo called a timeout.
Spo pulled a Chris Webber, and I lost a Miami money line for the last leg of like a huge parlay. So
they cut to Jalen Rose at the game, and he had PTSD. Yeah. He was like, "Oh."
Trust me, I was watching at the bar and also had PTSD. I was actually at the bar on Tuesday back out. But that was tough. That hurt. But like I said, we're going to move forward. I think we got some winners this week. Okay.
Let's recap men's retreat, and then we'll get into the winners because I do like the board this week. Teaser, I think dogs are hungry. Bless you. So, men's retreat. We all show up, staggered in various times. Yep. I get there. Vibes are good.
Vibes are great.
New guy gets there. Vibes are good. We're reminiscing outside about some people and some names that we can't say. Matthew McConaughey, great meme.
Great meme.
We've moved forward. We go to a few bars. Sammy Sosa has one of the worst beats of all time on West Virginia, minus like 9.5 against UMass when they hit that tray ball.
That was tough.
That was a tough loss for everyone. We went to this place called 50 West, which is straight out of a 1970s movie.
50 West is solid.
That's a great place. So I can totally see great summertime vibes there.
Great summertime. Is the volleyball court bumping?
Yeah.
Great time. Great time.
So as we know, I don't drink.
You don't.
As we are coming home from the
I forgot
secondary
about
location,
forgot about this.
two deer hop out of the woods and in front of my bud's fiance's Honda Civic. I'm left with no option but to mow them over. I struck and potentially killed two deer on men's retreat.
And that's what happens whenever you're driving in New York City. When's the last time you've actually driven a car, Frank?
I think I drove one in like June.
Exactly.
No, wait, no, July. Drove a car in July, Your
You're
Honor.
just liberal coastal elite Frankie Dimes, not caring about the wildlife of the planet, just out there slamming it in his borrowed his bond. What was it, a Civic Celic? I don't know what the fuck it
This
was.
is Civic.
Whatever it was. Civic, whatever it was. You're mowing deer down, not caring who you hit. And that's just typical New York attitude. You've changed. So embrace it.
I did have to put on a brave face because I love animals and my family feeds deer and we don't hunt at all. So all the deer in the woods come
Not
to
with a
our.
gun, you don't.
Okay.
Pretty dangerous with a
Listen,
family.
I cleared the deer. I called the DNR. I cleared. I have my tags.
You're fine.
Uh,
You got him.
uh,
Tag up.
strapped him to the hood of the Civic. What do you want me to do?
Bring him
That's,
home.
I got two types of jerky coming out. I got spicy and regular. I'll send you a batch.
Yeah, it's spicy, dog.
I felt really bad about the vehicle. Obviously, I might have felt
Yeah.
worse about the animals.
My immediate thought was I was glad I didn't volunteer my car that night because I was gonna have you drive my car that night. That would have been tough for me. That would have been a tough break.
To be fair, though, your car's a tank. They would have bounced right off
Yeah.
that thing.
I would have obliterated those deer. There would have been no hobbling off. It would have looked like a fucking crime scene there.
I
No doubt.
think I missed the one, and then the other one, it flew over the car.
You definitely got it. You definitely got all of one. It might have went foul, but you definitely put it pretty deep. You hooked the pole. You hooked it. That one, there's some serious damage in there.
No, I got it. I got it in its haunches. That's where it's like a big dent in the hood. But to be
Here's-
fair, to strike two deer and only getting a dent in the hood,
It's
that's
true.
not bad.
That's the way. That's the way to look at both. That's the way to look at that side of that glass of water. Some are
Yeah.
saying half full. I will say this, and this is my only because I don't want to do a.
I didn't swerve, and the girl said in the car they would have swerved if they were me. So I saved a life.
You saved a life. I don't want to do too much reminiscing on the boys' trip because
Okay.
I feel like remember when is the lowest form of conversation. Shout out Sopranos.
Okay.
But I am going to say, and I noticed some things. I feel like I don't want to say we're losing our fastball, but I think the boys are fading. There's a lot of people going down pretty early.
What do you mean by that?
I don't think the beer stamina is there anymore. I don't think the beer stamina is there. I think
Well, I don't help. I don't help.
That's true. That's true. I think we had a lot of people. We didn't have any people getting sick on these boys trips. I think we had a lot of sickness. We had a lot of tapping out at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we had two guys. You're talking about we're not drinking enough. We had two guys yak from
No,
drinking.
but I'm saying if you throw up and it's automatic DQ.
Right.
You're out. It's the same as drinking no beers. I'm saying that didn't happen. So I'm just saying, are we getting older? Maybe do we not have it, or do we have it for a couple innings? I don't know.
I think we might have just turned into relievers, but we were missing.
I think that's true.
We were missing our ace. We were missing our
Sure.
A1 guy.
Up on the hill. But if anybody's going to cut out early, it's also him. So is that?
Yeah, but he shoves for six. He shoves for 6 innings. He can't go
Sure.
complete game, but he'll give you 6 unearned.
That's true.
And then he gives 6 unearned. It's up to the rest of us to get to the 9.
Finish at home. I feel like that's fair. I just something I'm noticing. I don't know.
I listen. The trip was different. I hope we get together for March Madness because that's when we come alive.
That's true.
Listen, when we when there was half of us that went down to ECU to watch the ECU game, the vibes were definitely different.
Yeah.
So when we do football in the fall, that's like our spring game, and then when we go March Madness, that's us.
It is true. It is true. We do peak in March. I think
God,
if
I
we
love
don't get the full
gambling.
group down, I'm definitely down for. Like I said, I think March Madness. I think we'll get back. I think that's a great analogy. I think you brought me back on board.
All right,
I was
good.
swaying.
I want to
I
see.
was
The thing about the old days is the old days.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I want to think about. I want to talk about what happened after West Virginia pulled off somehow miraculous victory.
Go for it. I remember it very vaguely. So go
Do
on.
you remember when a swath of us were standing on the street corner and all of a sudden a woman opens up
Oh,
her apartment window 3 floors
yeah.
up, pulls out a hose, and just absolutely douses us with water?
Sprayed the boys. Did
Sprayed the
happen.
boys and
I
the
remember that.
gals. A
I
couple gals
remember
got
that.
their hair wet. They were ready to
Sprayed the
punch a
girls
girl.
too. That's
Yeah.
true.
And that's
Uh,
just loser behavior.
a younger Yinzer would have been up there.
See, I walked around. I couldn't find an entrance to the
I'd
building.
have found a way in.
I get
A
it.
younger, more vengeful, or an angry man. At this point,
Sumney paid Sumney paid a youth $20 to go up there and punch her. Kid couldn't
here's
find a way in. He was selling candy for his quote AAU basketball team.
listen. Here's where I'm at. I'm sorry, I can't get angry over two like 4 and 5 teams playing at 12 o'clock on a Saturday.
I can't either. And
I don't have that
Cincinnati
gear
fans,
in
for the
me.
most part, were really cool. Like,
Yeah, I don't have that gear in me. And I think I did stonewall somebody because I think he said something,
and you're like,
and I was like,
nice.
"Yeah, nice." I think somebody said something like before the game, and I'm like, "Who fucking actually cares about this game?" And he looked at me like I taught him like a revelation. It's just like I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah, he was like Western. I was like, dude, who fucking cares about this game? We both have 5 wins, and he
Yeah,
was like,
that's the way I looked at it. And when people from Cincinnati kept saying like, "We'll see you in basketball," I was just like,
I heard that
"That's
4 or 5
weird."
times. Are they like a top 5 team?
Hold on, are they like really good? Because we're like fine. Hold on,
We're okay. That was the weirdest flex. I heard that like 5 times.
I heard that a lot. Hold on,
I remember that sitting with me. I'm like, that's the weirdest thing.
they kept saying it. We'll see
It's
you in
not like
basketball.
it's not like we're Duke, Carolina. Like it's like
No,
we're Kansas. I could see that.
listen.
It's the
Also,
weirdest
your best coach is our best coach of all time.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, they're 17th in the country. They're 17th. Are you all right, big
They're the
man?
7th best team.
17th.
I don't know. It's a weird flex. UC fans, it's a weird flex.
That is a
I'm
weird
not here to
flex.
shame. That's a
I did
weird
like
flex.
how all their athletic facilities were right in the same center.
That's cool.
I thought that was really cool. But all in all, I mean, Cincinnati people were really cool. I like the facilities. The fans were
Stadium was
nice.
kind of mid. Stadium was kind of mid.
I thought the stadium was nice.
It's fine.
The concourse was bad.
Concourse was bad.
It was tiny, but I digress.
But yeah, the basketball thing was weird. I'm glad you brought that up because that's a weird flex. That's a super.
I think we'll
super
probably
weird
play
flex.
them like twice this year since they're like a close team. Like we'll probably play you twice and we'll probably split.
Like, I don't know. That'd be like if we lost in basketball. It's like, yeah, we'll see you in baseball. Like, I don't know about that. That's loser behavior.
We'll see you in men's soccer.
Exactly. You know what? I've changed. UC loser behavior. UC.
Okay. All right.
I was okay with you spraying me with water. The whole we'll see. I forgot how weird that was, and now it bothers me. You're right. You brought me back on.
Okay. I feel like
Realigned me twice.
I'm just having like you have brain fog right now
I do.
because you're
I
under
do.
the weather, and I'm having to like be like, hey,
It's true.
I'm like member berries. I'm like, you remember
Both
this?
of those things. I truly forgot how weird that is, and now I am kind of getting like that's fucking weird. Like
Yeah.
that's a weird flex, and like 4 or 5 different people said it. Like it's almost like they passed out like a guide. Like it was
like
like
if win,
Yeah.
talk smack,
If so, yeah.
lose.
it's all
Talk
yeah.
about
It's like you're talking
basketball.
to like talking points. It's like they had like talking. It was the weirdest, and like I didn't even say anything. Like some
Obviously,
dude
you're gonna
walked
get
by.
incest. There's gonna be incest jokes,
That's fine.
but like to the point, like, hey, Cincinnati, what state is your airport in? Kentucky?
Facts.
Oh, that's basically the same thing as West Virginia, you idiots.
I do love actually whenever we were walking through the concourse, somebody called me a cousin fucker, and Emmy was like, "He's my brother," which was pretty funny. I thought that was pretty
Hey.
funny. That was pretty good.
There you go.
Pretty
She's
good.
got it.
And then another guy said he's like, "Oh, is that true?" He's like, "I'd like to be her brother too," which was kind of weird. At
Yeah, that was
point, your boys fighting demons.
that's
Every steps is my battle. My battle is right foot, left foot. At that point, I can't.
yeah.
Okay, just getting back. But
Right.
let's get some picks. I'm glad you brought that up, Frankie. You brought me back. You brought me back on the case with the boys trip. You brought me back to UC being a bunch of weirdos. I'm
Yep.
back. You've swayed me. Very, very
You
persuasive.
swayed me.
I'm back.
All right. as I teased there, I'll let Ianzer go first since I think he won the week
I'm
10.
up by half a point, half a unit, if they say so. So I have an eclectic week. I think this week's going to be fun. I'm honestly, this is the first week in probably about 5 weeks where I can just sit on the couch and watch every game.
That's
Very excited.
great. You got a
It's
great
something I've
setup
been,
downstairs.
a great setup. The house is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start off South Florida -3.
Okay.
It's one of those. I kept looking at it,
I looked at
and
that.
did you look at it? And I'm like, I feel like I've seen
I
a lot of
looked at it.
different.
I looked at it, and then I looked at South Florida's offensive numbers, and they're not what we want them to be.
They're not great, but here is what I'm banking on. I'm banking on South Florida getting up, taking an early lead, and then forcing the passing game, and I don't think it can come back. So I think South Florida. I don't think Charlotte can throw it around to keep it in. I think South Florida can dictate the game, taking a close home dog or a away favorite.
There
It's
we go.
kind of scary, but I'm not too concerned. Not too concerned with Charlotte. So give me
Okay.
-3.
My first one, home dog. What's better than that? Give me Navy midshipmen +7 at home against Tulane. Now, Tulane is ranked. They're riding high. All right. But Navy is a complete team, guys. Right? They can suffocate the life out of you. Death by 1,000 paper cuts is what
You
this
got to
is.
think they're back. You got to think this is a rally game for them.
They're all the way back.
Okay, that's what I was hoping.
I mean, they did have a good win last week.
Yeah, that's true.
They handled USF, held them to 7 points. So
There we go.
I love the midshipmen at home catching 7. I'll take that.
I don't understand this game. It might be a leaking oil favorite, but I'm willing to pay the money to lose this. Give me Illinois -2.5.
All right.
I don't get it. At home, Illinois has backslid of late, but if you're telling me I can get Illinois at home, a little bit of a bounce back spot. It was at 3, now it's 2.5 across the board, so I'll take that. I love that even more. Give me that for 1 unit.
Illinois
Yep.
against Mich State. See,
Nice
Michigan
job.
State's one of both these teams are like the classic Big Ten teams that I just cannot figure out for the life of me. If I bet them,
Haven't
they
had it on the
do.
right week.
If I bet them, they do the exact opposite thing that I want
I
them
think
to
that's
do.
been Washington for me this year. I feel like I've been on the wrong side of Washington every game.
Okay. I want to get a good. I want to get a good stat here because I haven't given a stat that I want to give. Oh, what's a good stat here? Okay, Utah defense. Okay. So, we have Hawaii going to the mainland. Now, Hawaii, they they won a good one on the mainland at Fresno State. They lost a close one on the Big Island to UNLV. That was a tough matchup. Hawaii's not terrible, and we projected that in the beginning of the season that they were going to be bowl eligible. They're -2.5 on the road at Utah State, which is like a dumpster fire of a program right now. You got coaches doing like SA stuff. Well, it's this whatever.
Yeah.
They're also now get this. Their drop back rate is 115th in the country. That's like defensive drop back rate. So it's like defense against the pass.
That's why you come to this pod for that kind of stuff.
And their third and fourth down success rate is 109th in the country on offense. So they can't stop the pass and they don't convert on third and fourth down. I like that. So let's take Hawaii on the mainland -2.5.
I'll get you 2.5.
Okay.
All these 1 units so far.
Yeah.
Do some bigger plays at the end. Next one is, I think this team might have quit. The quarterback just kind of walked out. I think SMU -19. I think SMU rolls them. I was looking at SMU team totals.
Yeah.
Boston College on the road. SMU has been picking up some steam.
That bummed me out that
There's actually
Castellanos is gone.
He's gone. There's actually some 18.5s out there, so I'm going to take an 18.5, get that line value while I can. 19 is not a trendy number, but whatever, I'll take it. But SMU, I think they roll them. I think this might be a fun play to do kind of a ladder, maybe at an 18, 21, 27 kind of game. Those are always fun. If you win, you win big. If you lose, you're going to lose anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
So give me SMU -18.5.
As of 1 day ago, Thomas Castellanos
He's gone.
Transfer portal.
Yeah, he's out. He said, I am gone.
How many games has he played this year? I can't believe he still has years.
I think he got mad. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Home dog. Give him to me. Give me the candy. West Virginia +2.5 at home against Baylor. This is a principle play. I can't stand Baylor. We
Yeah, I know
have to
you.
win.
You hate them.
I hate Baylor. They have to win. Now, West Virginia defense on third and fourth down, 121st in the country.
Not great.
So they're gonna. I also kind of like the over in this game for what it's worth. I think this
Yeah.
one is a classic Big 12. I think this one's classic Big
I think
12.
there's just points all over. If
Yeah.
GG plays, I think that's a strong West Virginia play. I know he's been bad this year, but God, Nico looked bad the other day.
People don't want to talk about it. Like we scored 14 points because of defense, and then I think we set up other. Something else was set up because of like a punt or a kick return or something like that. Like we didn't
I think
really
we had
score.
like 203 yards of offense or something. And I know it was below
Not
220.
great.
I know it was
Not
below
great.
220.
Which will also lead into another pick of mine later, but after you.
All right, I'm gonna do a. We got two more plays. They're both going to be parlays. This is a 6.5 point parlay. Brings you down to about -120 on most books.
Okay.
Give me Air Force
Okay.
plus 10.5.
Okay.
I think they can win outright against Oregon State at home.
Can't get a read
And
on
then
them.
give me Wisconsin plus 20. Oregon just doesn't blow teams out. Oregon's in cruise mode. I think that game's probably going to play closer to like a 7 to 10 point game. I think Oregon wins. I like how Wisconsin played Penn State. I like them at home. Catching 20 with that tease is great. I'm going to play that for 2 units. Give me Whiskey plus 20, Air Force plus 10.5.
Okay. I like it. I like it, man. That's good stuff. This team's riding high off of a confusing win. I got Rutgers plus 6 on the road at Maryland, College Park. I think you got teams trending in opposite directions here. I just think Maryland is just mediocre and Rutgers is a step up from mediocre. I don't know. Again, just basically basing it off last week where you have Maryland getting their doors blown off 2 weeks in a row from Minnesota and then Maryland or Oregon. And you look at common opponents. Listen, I know Rutgers handled Minnesota. So
Yeah, they did. Minnesota's. Would you want you on Rutgers? I can get you a 6.
yeah,
All
it's gonna be sick.
right.
And I got one more.
My final one. I'm going to do a 3 unit parlay. This one's going to be a
Oh
little
man, I might
crazy.
ride this.
Texas money line. Texas is not losing. Texas money line. That's just to
Okay.
get it right where I want it to be. And
Okay.
then you can find this for about -150, which does not feel priced right. Georgia first half. Georgia game. Ties lose. Ties lose on the first half. They don't lose on the back half. But is Nico going to play for Tennessee? I don't know. Georgia should come out pretty pissed off. I think they're not going to fool around. Georgia has been the team of absolute slow starts. But I think Georgia gets right back on track. I think at least they take the lead in the half, and I think they widen the gap at the end. But Georgia first half, Georgia game, Texas money line is plus 126.
Okay.
-120 on the other one, plus 120 on this. Give me that for
Texas
3
plays
units.
Friday night, right?
I don't think so. I think it's a Saturday game.
November 16th. Yeah, it's at noon against
I was
Arkansas.
gonna say, I
Sorry.
thought it was a noon kickoff game.
Sorry.
That's all good. And
You
for
want
what
you
it's
you
worth,
want two big dogs that I think keep it close this week.
give it to me.
If you want to like tease them or something like that, two dogs together. Both Big Ten games. I think Northwestern keeps it within 28, and I think Purdue also keeps it within 28.
Dude, so bad.
I know they're bad, but both these teams are at home. Both these teams are at home.
I don't know. I can't play Purdue.
So
That's
here's
who's
my
Purdue
last
playing?
pick.
Who's Purdue playing?
Penn State.
Oof. I thought it was Penn State. I was like, oof.
It is Penn State.
All right. Give me your last one, and then I have one more I might play. I'll see what you think about it.
This one is based off of what my eyeballs saw last week at the Cincinnati game. So the pick is Cincinnati plus 8.5 on the road at Ames, Iowa. Something is going on in Iowa State, and it's not great. And that loss that West Virginia had against them looks even worse. The fact that Iowa State gets in a dogfight with UCF, who's not great, they lose a nail biter to Texas Tech, and then they get killed by 9. But they got 45 hung on them by a Kansas team that's terrible. Okay, so we have Cincinnati going on the road, angry after last week's loss, plus 8.5. The reason West Virginia won the game has nothing to do with the offense. They scored 14 points from the defense. Scored 14 points. That's why they won the game. So that's why we have Cincinnati going to Iowa State night game in Ames. I know it gets weird there, but I think some of that magic is gone after that two straight losses. I think people are like, oh man, I don't know. Plus you still have to go to Utah and you play Kansas State. The schedule doesn't get any easier for them. So I think Cincy handles the 8.5. I think they can do it on the field too. I think they can win it.
I'm looking at this board, and there's one game I really want to play, and it's staring at me like the Green Goblin mask, and
Oh boy.
I hate that it has a hook, but I think
Can I
I might.
guess? Can I guess?
Yeah,
I think you think Notre Dame blows out Virginia.
I think they do blow out Virginia, but I'm not worried about that.
Okay,
I
what?
Kansas State minus 7.5 versus Arizona State. I think that's blowout.
Is Scatabo back? If Cam Scatabo if is there for Arizona State, this is an entirely different team.
Here's actually what I'm going to do.
Oh
Let me
boy.
look this up. Do you
Oh
have another
God.
pick or you capped?
I'm done.
All right, here's what I'm going to do because I feel like playing this number at 7.5 gives me no value. So here's what I'm going to do.
He's on track to play this weekend.
All right, give me Kansas State
Okay.
minus 17
Okay.
at plus 260 for one
You
unit.
think this is a blowout in Manhattan, the Little
I,
Apple.
I would rather have it at 17 and get that juice than play it at 7 because I think Kansas State either blows them out or I think it's close. And I feel like
Okay.
it's a weird thing to say, but there's been a couple games this year where I'm like, I really wish I would have just done it. So plus 260 Kansas State is minus 17. I would love that at 16.5, but it's a big jump in juice. So give me that plus 260. One unit to win 2.6. Not too bad.
You got all right. All right. You got
Actually,
the plus
what?
EV going on.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna play it. It's 250 because we only do half units. Let's make it minus 16. That way I get that good number. It's 250. It's actually not too bad. I'll take that.
Let's make it official then.
Plus 250 minus 16. You
I
can
love
find
it.
that on Bet365.
Tell me why it's 40 something degrees and my heat is like not on.
New York, baby.
And that's New York. And
New
we'll
York.
see you live from New York next week for week 13. I want to thank you all for
We'll be
listening again.
back with winners. But
Yes.
honestly, I'm going to do a quick recap because I feel like that's something everybody always
Of
asks.
course, yes.
South Florida minus 3, Illinois minus 2.5, SMU minus 18.5, Air Force plus 10.5 with whiskey plus 22 units. Georgia, first half Georgia game, Texas money line, 3 units. That's about plus 120. Give me Kansas State minus 16 for plus 250. The Dimes, man, Navy plus 7, Hawaii minus 2.5, WVU plus 2.5, Rutgers plus 6, and Cincy plus 8.5. You really did like the dogs this week.
I like the dogs this week. I think there's so much info out. I think this is the time of the year where the dogs, it's just like, if you just don't take dogs, you're an idiot.
You just want the points, baby. You just want them.
Yup.
Well, that's another week in the books. I'm going to go take enough cold medicine to kill a small horse, and we're going to get back.
Okay. We'll see me and Secretariat next week on the pod, week 13. Parting words?
Just win, baby. Just win.
Just win, baby.
Just win.
Peace.
Peace, buddy. Peace.